Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Rice Figures. My goal for this channel is to provide anime figure reviews, recaps of events, and monthly pre-order roundups from AmiAmi. In general, I want to create shorter, consistently uploaded videos. We'll see how that pans out in the long run, but for today we're talking about WonFes 2024 summer. WonFes seems to be less of a big deal than it used to be. Some of the big figure companies are now running their own events where a lot of their announcements will happen there. I'll cover some things I found interesting, but obviously I'm not covering everything. If you want a complete breakdown of every announcement, please check out Ruru's blog and Twitter in the video description, which is what I used for my reference. Some of those big announcements happened at SmileFest a week later, including the first figure in a long time that I've popped off about, so stay tuned for that. For the first few event videos, I won't have a good idea on what are new announcements and what are just updates to existing figures. I did my best to research it, but my figure collection has been slow on updating things recently, but I believe most of these are new announcements. So up first, we have this summer Lena figure from Majo no Tabi Tabi. I don't know much about this character, but I do think her design is generally very cute. I love big witch hats, but I also do like the stand, besides maybe how fake the concrete looks. There's a few figures of her from this event. I'll be going over another one later, but this is the entry from Furyu/Phoenix. I think it's pretty serviceable. It's going to be a 1/7 scale, so it'll probably be around $200. I can't see it being much more than that. I think it's pretty standard, but if you're looking for a pretty modest summer outfit, this might be a good place to start. After that, we have Ezra from Fairy Tail. I do not know what scale this is, but it's from Orca Toys. It looks to be maybe a 1/7 or maybe even a 1/6. Right off the bat, I don't like the effect on the foot. I'm not really aware what her power is, but it just doesn't look good. Like most fire effects, sometimes they just aren't the best looking. The base, it definitely has impact, but it is just another concrete slab, which I'm not a big fan of. There's not much to go from this image. It's a little blurry, and this is the best image we have right now, but if you're looking for an Ezra figure, and I believe it's also available in a secondary color, this might be the one to go for. Next we have from Phoenix these Kimono Homura and Madoka. I think these are really cute. I'm not too sure if this is the line where they're going to cost an exorbitant amount of money. I know there is a Phoenix Madoka already, but I believe it is... I do not know if this is a collaboration with the Kimono Company or not, or the Hina Doll Company, sorry. They look really good. They look very cute. I love the little cube purse. The kimonos look excellent, but I'm just sure these are going to be a lot of money. They look so good. Up next we have this original figure. I kind of just highlighted this one mostly because I really liked her hair. It's a 1/7 scale. It is by Summer Lemoy, I think is the name of the company. I just really like how interlaced the black parts of her hair are. You can't really tell if they're ribbons or her own hair. It looks really good. I like the stand. It's a good sitting figure. The chair looks nice. All the decorations on her look nice. I'm probably not going to buy an original figure. I don't think I ever will. But this, if I was to buy one, this would be a good start. Up next we have this Lulu figure from Dragon Maid. I like Lulu a lot. I don't think I can ever bring myself to purchase a figure of her for obvious reasons. This one looks pretty good. It's not as dynamic or elaborate as the figure she got, I want to say, about a year ago, but it's just a pretty straightforward, as tasteful as maybe a Ruru can be. I don't love the hair sculpt, but I do love her expression. It's just very, very Lulu, maybe before her change in personality. But this is great. The tail, the hands, it looks really good. Maybe if the price is right, but I still don't know if I can bring myself to buy an Ruru figure. Up next we have this Bridget figure from Wave Corporation. This is a unpainted prototype. There's a lot of Bridget figures out right now, and there's not much for me to go off on this image so far, but it doesn't look like any better than the broccoli one as an example, which I think is probably the best Bridget figure out there. It is very pricey, maybe this figure is costed more correctly. But this just seems to be her win pose, the start of her win pose, which is just not a very dynamic pose. It's just, we'll see how it looks when it's colored, but for now this figure doesn't really excite me much. Alright, up next we have this Kaide from Onimai scale from Wave Corporation as well. I'm a big Onimai fan. Kaide is not my favorite character, but it's good to see that Onimai is just getting these scale figures. It gives me hopes for a second season. I can tell just from her expression and the sculpt of this figure that it's going to be very bright and colorful. She's a very bright and colorful person. It looks good so far. I really need to see the paint job on it, but it looks really good so far. So excited to see more about that figure. And then we have Kikuri from Bochi. I always forget exactly how her name is said for some reason, even though I love this character. I don't really like this figure though. I think the base looks kind of bad. I know it's supposed to be like a stage floor with the amp, but the amp doesn't look particularly really good, and I just don't like the checkered base. But the rest of her, it looks fine. I think maybe her clothing doesn't lend well to a figure, but I'm maybe looking for something else from a Kukuri figure. The guitar looks fine, but this reminds me of the kind of like the old K-On figures back in the day. It's just not quite there for me. Next we have a surprising one. I think this character's name is Roberta from Black Lagoon, the killer maid. The base, although uncolored, looks like it's just going to be a hunk of plastic with her briefcase. So that's not very exciting, but it's just kind of cool to see a Black Lagoon figure in 2024. That's probably pretty exciting for a very specific amount of people. The show is pretty old, so it's good to see it. I don't really see myself getting it, but the guns look good, she looks cool, she looks dangerous, and that's what that character was all about. So hopefully that one turns out good with the color job. Up next we have, in the myriad of Ryza figures, they just never stop, this Ryza from Kit Model Plus. Not much to say. I think there's more exciting Ryza figures on the horizons. Some of the image-only spoilers had some more exciting looking ones coming up. As a person who owns a Ryza scale, I don't see myself getting this one. I don't think it looks bad. I just don't see enough going on for me to value it over other Ryza figures. And next we have Marceline from a Dungeon Meshi. I'm sure she'll be getting a lot of figures in the near future. This looks pretty good. It's an unpainted prototype, so it's still hard to tell in the paint job. It is a plastic base with a bunch of books on it. I don't know much about the company Alice Glint, so hopefully they do a good job on her, but I like the prototype here. It looks good, her expression looks good. It's just the base is maybe not the most interesting, and the pose, but we'll see how that one turns out. Next we have, not a very good image at all, but this Ram figure from Prisma Wing. It does look like it's going to be quite good. The pose is very dynamic. The effect over here looks like it's probably going to be very good. And it's just probably one of the better sculpted Strive figures. It looks good. I just hope the base has a good coloration to it, but the paint job will be pretty self-explanatory if you know what Ram looks like. So hopefully that one will turn out well too. And then after that we have probably one of the better looking Kana figures from Dragon Maid I've seen in a while. This is from Proof Figure. I'm unsure if this is a scale, but it looks to be probably like a 1/7 scale. I like that the only thing colored in is her eyes right now. They look very good. The base is very dynamic. I like her little stockings. It's very cute, and I think Kana fans, although I'm not one of them, really just really wanted a figure that is not being looted, and this one is one of the better ones. We'll just see how it turns out, the paint job and everything, but it is cute, and I do like what the pose they went for and everything. And after that, we have this really surprising one. This is not a scale, it's a prize figure of Tokimeki Tonight, which is an old show from, I believe, the 80s or 90s. It has a really cool ending song if you want to go check it out, but I'm just glad to see old retro anime getting figures, especially one as cool as Tokimeki Tonight. This looks great, and if it's a good price, like under $60, I could see myself getting it. Alright, up next we have this Shinku figure from Proof Figure. Shinku hasn't had a lot of good scales throughout through history. She's from Rose and Maiden, an anime that came out in like 2006. She got a figure early on from Griffin, but if you know Griffin, we're kind of known for making suboptimal figures, but they were the best we had at the time. We did what we could. But this is still not quite what I want from a Shinku. I kind of wanted more roses, more dynamic effects, kind of like how the Griffin figure originally did it with the flower petals coming from the base, but the box that she comes in is not quite what I want, but it's just good to see her getting figures. Shinku is one of my... Shinku and Rose and Maiden were pivotal in me becoming an anime fan, so it's just really good to see her. I just kind of wanted more gothicness, more roses, more just to go crazy on all the roses, but it's just a little bit subdued for me. But hopefully this leads to more figures in the future if it sells well. Next up we have another Elena figure, this time from Spirit Tail. We're in the Spirit Tail section now. This is a sitting figure, so with sitting figures it's a lot about the base for me, and I think this base is pretty good. I like the felt on it. I like the books. The books look good, and if you zoom on them, they look pretty detailed. The briefcase is really nice. I still love her hat, and her pose and look are really good. It looks great. I think I like this one more than the other Elena figure if I was to choose between the two. But yeah, great looking figure. Again, from Spirit Tail, we have Himiko Toga from Hiroraka, or Boku no Hero, whatever you want to call it. I think there's better figures of this character out there. I believe a year or two ago there was some 1/7 that I really liked. My feelings on this character is I've kind of liked her. I haven't liked her enough to pick up a figure, but this one looks pretty good. The base is very cool looking. It's a kind of unique melting effect with the different colors. It's got all of her knives. I can't see it, but there's probably some of her blood vials in there, maybe not. It is a pretty decent figure. It's just not my favorite Toga figure I've seen so far. And then we have another Kana Arima figure from Oshinoko from Spirit Tail. I know I talked about bases a lot so far, but I'm always kind of trepidatious about these kind of bases where they stack a bunch of things and the character sits on top of them. I'm worried about how they will be long term, if they'll start to wobble or maybe fall over even. So I tend to avoid these types of figures, but it does look cute. Kana looks cute. I just love her design in general. It looks like this is in particular when she is in the idol group. But all the little cute effects there. We got like baseball gloves and stars and pen lights. It's very cute, but I'll need to see the paint job. I tend to like when her red is brought out very well rather than putting her in other colors, so that will also depend on the paint job for me, but it looks good. There's more Kana figures to come. She's just going to get tons of figures, so you have a lot of choice. Up next we have, I always forget this character's real name, I think it's Suya, Froggy from Hiroraka, unpainted scale prototype. It's going to have a big water effect here, so depending on how that's painted, that's going to really affect my opinion on the figure. And I know a lot of these Hiroraka figures have these concrete slabs, which I don't really love. I get why they go for it, but I would prefer something else for the base. She looks good though. She's got her weird feet going on. Her big goggles, the big tongue. It looks good. Not much to say here. Up next we have Akane from Gridman. I really like this. It's really cute. The base sucks, but Akane is just a really cute character, and this is a cute figure design. Maybe the hair isn't the best. Maybe this is... But I really do like the gold trim on the colors over here on the... I don't know what you would call this. The regalia. It is very cute. I love a lot of this, what this outfit is doing. She looks like a review Starlight character or a Princess Connect character rather than a Gridman character, and I just love that for her. And then we have another kind of figure. This is from Union Creative. This one is pretty basic. It's just her in a cat-made outfit. Not a lot to say. The base is just a clear base. It looks cute. I could imagine this being a cheaper scale because there's just not a lot going on, but it's cute nonetheless. And then we have Sheltier from Union Creative. This definitely looks like a 1/7 scale. I can't quite see in that right there, but I like Sheltier. I've always kind of wanted a figure of Sheltier. We'll see how the paint job goes in this one, but it does look pretty promising. The base looks like it's going to blend well into her. It's not just a plastic base. The pose is great. Her face looks great. I just really want to see this paint job because maybe this will finally be the Sheltier figure I grab after so many years, but it does look pretty good. Up next we have this Mau Mau figure from Apothecary Diaries from Wonderful Works. I think this figure looks really good. It's probably one of the better sitting figures of this event, which there seems to be a lot of sitting figures this event. But the way her clothes blends into the ground and how the different folds look, very natural. I almost think they might have had like some kind of authority on kimonos inform them on this. It looks super good. I don't super love the base, but I didn't watch the show, but it probably is it's something she actually probably sits on. I think her hair looks great. I think her face looks great. This is a great looking figure, especially if you're an Apothecary Diaries fan and you really wanted a cute Mau Mau. It looks really good. Okay, and then we have this Atelier Sophie figure from Amakuni. This just looks like a simple... I like Sophie. I recently started playing her game, and this is just a cute figure. I tend to like the Atelier figures. I don't know what, they just have really good designs. I don't think this is so I kind of want more of a flowery, pretty, elaborate Sophie rather than a swimsuit, but this still looks pretty good. Alright, next we have like a series of 4 Zenless Zone Zero figures. The big hype new game. We got Billy, we got Nekomata, we have Henri, and we have Nicole. I think they should have maybe capitalized on the popularity of Ellen, but I don't think they knew she was going to be as big as she is. But I do like Nekomata, and I do like Nicole, so it sucks that those ones aren't colored yet, but they both do look like kind of standard mid-range quality figures. The Henri I think looks the best out of these. Maybe Billy. We will have to see. It's a good start. I'm sure all these characters are going to get tons of figures, so maybe don't jump on these first ones. But it's a good start, and I'm glad they're getting figures out right away. Let's move on to this figure. I have no idea what this is. It's from Apex Toys, Lime Pie, and it is from Reverse 1999. I just picked it because I thought without context it's pretty funny. I'm trying to figure out what this is. I think it's like a teacher who is an apple. It looks like it just looks really cute. I love it, and their name is just Apple. Very, very cute. If this is hidden, for people who know what is going on here, if this hits, let me know. And then we have from the Ami Ami collabs that are going on with WonFes, we have another Ryza. I think this one is a little bit more interesting than the one we had previously. She's eating a parfait and sitting on, it looks like a beach ball, but it could be in like the slimes or maybe something else. It's another Beach Ryza. Can't really say much about all these Ryza figures. I like Ryza, but again, there's just so much. You're spoiled for choice. So, but if this one looks good to you, go for it. This is the only image I'm going to go over, but I'm a huge Onimai fan, and I really like My Hero. I always hear from this image, this figure could be not what I want, but I want something maybe more tame. But I'm still very excited for this prototype whenever it comes out. It'll probably be a big purchase for me because I'm just a big Onimai fan, and I'm just happy to see it get figures. But yeah, this is probably gonna be a buy for me no matter what, unless it's a little bit too skeevy. But good to see Onimai getting more figures. And then we have this holo from Katakawa Collection. This doesn't look like holo to me. I know it's probably more based on the new anime design, but I'm an old person and I watched the old one and it just doesn't look like old holo. I like the rest of what's going on, where she's in this bed with the kimono / yukata, and that looks good. It doesn't look as good as obviously the Madoka Phoenix ones before, or even the Mao Mao one, but it does look cute. But yeah, I just don't like something about her face, and it just doesn't look like holo to me. So take that as you will. This one's a pass for me. And then 2 of the figures that came out already are up for pre-order. There might be more, maybe I missed some besides the one I went over. But it seemed to be in a current trend we have going on of girls sitting in cups. And I'm kind of here for it. I really like this. I'm not the biggest Rem fan. I'm not also a Rem hater. I think she's cute, and I think this figure looks cute. You could probably put this figure in places where you don't normally put figures. Maybe you have like a wine shelf and you just sneak this Rem figure into it. I think it's just a really neat idea, and I'm more interested in this than any Rem figure I've seen previously, just because of what they're going for. It's really cute. The colors are really bright. I like her dress. I just love this wine glass. I wonder if the wine glass is going to be plastic or is it going to be actual crystal, like a real wine glass. I'm very curious about that. This looks great. Good choice. I hope to see some characters I like more in in these wine glass figures in the future. And our figure we have from a company I've never heard of, Golden Head Plus, a 1/7 scale of Hibiki from Blue Archive. I always liked Hibiki. I used her base unit in the PvP for a long time, and I think her cheerleader version looks very adorable. This figure just looks pretty cute, and for not a terrible price, I might even consider this one if I liked her maybe a bit more. But it's just really cute. The base is pretty standard and has like her rocket launcher or mortar, whatever you want to call it. But I like her expression. I've always liked the cheerleading outfit for Blue Archive. I think her halo looks a little bit less good than some halos in Blue Archive figures, and I think that's kind of one of the selling points of a Blue Archive figure. But it still looks pretty good, and the price is right. Alright, that is all I have for today. Thank you for coming to the channel. This is my first time. I'm sorry about maybe the repetitive mouse movements and nervous stuttering. Oh, I gotta stop that.